I'm standing in my kitchen on a Tuesday evening when Emily calls, and I already know it's going to be one of those conversations. My younger sister has that tone in her voice, the breathless, manic excitement that means she's discovered something she thinks will change her life. You have to hear this, she says before I even finish saying hello. I just talked to Brianna from the class ahead of mine, and she made over $80,000 last semester. 80,000 in like 4 months. I set down my coffee mug and lean against the counter. Through my apartment window, I can see the Denver skyline catching the last light of day. Doing what? Live stream sales, beauty products. She bought these cosmetics super cheap, repackaged them with cute branding, and sold them during live shopping events. The profit margins are insane. Something tightens in my chest. Where did she source the products? Some wholesale suppliers she found online. That's the genius part. You can get everything for practically nothing and mark it up however you want. I'm thinking of doing the same thing. Actually, I've already been researching suppliers. I close my eyes. Emily is 21, about to graduate from college in 3 months, and she's always been like this. Impulsive, chasing the next big thing, convinced that shortcuts are just smart strategy. That sounds really risky. Do you know anything about the products? Are they tested? Do they have proper certification? Her laugh comes through the phone, sharp and dismissive. Oh my God, you sound like mom. This is business. Everyone does it. Do you think all those influencers are using high-end labs? They're buying cheap and selling high. That's literally how capitalism works. That's not how legal business works. If those products aren't properly tested and approved, I'm not asking for permission, she cuts me off. I'm just telling you because I'm excited. I thought you'd be happy for me. The conversation ends shortly after that, with Emily irritated and me feeling a familiar sense of dread. Over the next 2 weeks, Emily texts me constantly with updates. She's found suppliers, she's designing labels, she's planning her first live stream. Every message feels like watching someone walk toward a cliff edge while insisting the view is beautiful. When she shows up at my apartment on a Saturday afternoon, I'm not surprised. She's wearing an oversized sweater and ripped jeans, her long dark hair pulled into a messy bun, and she's carrying her laptop covered in stickers. Can I come in? I want to show you something. I step aside and let her in. She settles on my couch and opens the laptop, pulling up spreadsheets and supplier websites. Everything looks cheap, generic product photos, websites with broken English, prices that seem impossibly low. Look at this, she says, pointing at the screen. Foundation for $2 a unit, face cream for $3. I can package these together, sell them for $45, $50. The markup is incredible. Emily, these suppliers look sketchy. Do they provide certificates of analysis, safety data sheets? She waves her hand dismissively. They have all the documentation, it's fine. Everyone uses these suppliers. Then why isn't everyone getting sued or shut down? Her jaw tightens. Because you're being paranoid. Brianna did this for months and she's totally fine. She graduated, paid off her student loans, bought a car. This is real. I sit down across from her and choose my words carefully. I'm worried about the legal liability. If someone has a bad reaction to these products, you could be held responsible. You could face lawsuits, criminal charges even. That's why you do disclaimers and terms of service. God, you really don't understand how any of this works, do you? The condescension in her voice stings, but I try to stay calm. I understand that if you sell products that hurt people, disclaimers won't protect you. She snaps the laptop shut. You know what? Forget it. I thought you'd be supportive, but you're just like everyone else who's too scared to take risks. That's why you're stuck in your boring office job while other people are actually building something. She leaves 10 minutes later, and the apartment feels cold after she's gone. 3 weeks pass before she calls again. This time, there's a different quality to her voice. Not quite desperation, but something close. I need to ask you something, a favor. I'm at my desk at work, and I step into an empty conference room for privacy. What is it? I need to borrow money, about $12,000. I know it's a lot, but this business is going to take off, and I'll pay you back triple within 6 months. I promise. My stomach drops. $12,000? I found this amazing supplier, but they require a minimum order. And I need to buy equipment? Ring lights, a good camera, packaging materials. Madison, you remember Madison from my sophomore year? She's going to be my business partner. She has connections to even better suppliers, but we need capital to get started. Madison, I remember Emily mentioning her before, a girl who always seemed to be involved in some scheme or another, always talking about knowing people who could get things done. I can't lend you that money. Silence on the other end. Then, carefully controlled. Why not? I lost it. I made a really stupid investment in some stocks my coworker recommended, and I lost almost all my savings. This is the lie I've prepared, and it tastes like ash in my mouth. The truth is different, and it's sitting in an escrow account right now. The down payment on a small townhouse in a quiet neighborhood 20 minutes from downtown. I closed on it 2 weeks ago. It's mine. After years of saving, of making careful choices, of living in a cramped apartment with thin walls and no parking, I finally have a place of my own. But I can't tell Emily this. She'll demand to know why I'm buying property when she needs help. She'll make it about me being selfish, about family being more important than real estate. She'll guilt and manipulate and make my achievement feel like a betrayal. Emily's response is immediate and harsh. Are you fucking kidding me? Stocks? You put your savings in stocks. It was a mistake. I know that now. How could you be so stupid? How could you be that financially clueless? Do you have any idea how reckless that is? Each word is a knife, but I force myself to stay quiet, to let her vent, because the alternative is worse. Unbelievable. My own sister is too dumb to manage money, but wants to lecture me about business. You lost everything in stocks. Do you know how idiotic that is? Meanwhile, I'm actually building something, but I guess that doesn't matter to you. Emily, I'm sorry. If I had the money, I'd consider it, but I don't. Right, sure, whatever. She hangs up. I don't hear from her for almost a month. Then suddenly she's everywhere on social media. Her profile explodes. She's doing nightly live streams, sitting in a professionally lit room, surrounded by beauty products and pastel packaging. The camera loves her. She's animated, charming, funny. She demonstrates products with confidence, tells stories, responds to comments in real time. The viewer counts climb. Hundreds, then thousands. She's promoting something called Glow Luxe Beauty, and the products look surprisingly professional in their cute packaging. Face creams, serums, lip treatments, eyeshadow palettes. Everything has clean, minimalist design with Emily's face as part of the branding. The comments are enthusiastic. People love her. Orders flood in. I watch from a distance, hoping I'm wrong, hoping maybe she found legitimate suppliers. Maybe everything is actually fine. 2 months later, Emily shows up at my apartment unannounced on a Thursday evening. She's wearing designer sunglasses and carrying shopping bags from expensive stores. She pushes past me into the apartment and drops the bags on my couch. You should see the new car I bought. Mercedes, white, absolutely gorgeous. That's great, Em. She walks through my small living room like she's appraising it, and there's something cruel in her smile. You know, maybe you should quit that boring office job and come work for me. I could use someone to help organize the studio, keep things clean. I'd pay you, obviously. Probably not as much as you make now, but the work would be easier. The words land like a slap. She's offering me a job as her cleaning person. I'm happy where I am, I say quietly. Are you, though? Look at this place. You're 28 and living in a tiny apartment. Don't you want more? I have more, I think. I have a house, I have stability, I have self-respect. But I say nothing. She stays for 20 more minutes, talking about her success, dropping numbers, how much she made last week, how many subscribers she has, how Madison's connections came through with even cheaper suppliers. When she leaves, the apartment smells like her expensive perfume, and I feel exhausted. The first complaint appears online about 3 weeks later. A woman posts in a beauty forum about buying a face cream from Glow Luxe Beauty that gave her a severe rash. Then another complaint, and another. A teenager posts photos of chemical burns on her eyelids from an eyeshadow palette. A woman in her 30s describes her skin peeling after using a night serum. The complaints multiply, spreading across social media. I text Emily, "Have you seen what people are saying about your products?" Her response comes an hour later. Competitors trying to sabotage us. Happens to everyone who's successful. But the complaints keep coming. Doctors' reports, photos of damaged skin, angry customers demanding refunds. Then someone files a police report. I find out through a frantic phone call from my mother. Emily's in trouble. The police want to question her about her business. Something about unsafe products. My hands shake as I search for news. There's already an article in a local news blog. Local beauty influencer under investigation after customer complaints. When I finally reach Emily on the phone, she's crying. This is all Madison's fault. She's the one who found the suppliers. I trusted her, and now the police are saying the products violated safety regulations? Did you verify the products were tested? Madison said they were. She showed me certificates. I don't know, maybe they were fake. She's blaming me now, saying I knew what we were doing. Over the next few days, the story unfolds in pieces. Police trace the supply chain back to an unlicensed manufacturing facility that used prohibited chemicals. Neither Emily nor Madison had proper business licenses, permits, or FDA clearance for cosmetics distribution. Both girls are arrested. The local news covers it. Emily's mugshot appears online. Comments range from sympathetic to vicious. My mother calls me sobbing. My father asks if there's anything we can do. I tell them I'll help however I can, but inside I feel hollowed out. I warned her. I tried. The legal process drags on for months. Emily and Madison turn on each other completely, each claiming the other was responsible for sourcing the illegal products, for misleading customers, for running the scam. The business collapses overnight. Emily's accounts are banned from every platform. All the money is frozen as part of the investigation. Then, 3 months after the arrests, I get a call from my mother with even worse news. Madison has disappeared with the remaining cash from the business account. Money she somehow managed to access before it was completely frozen. About $30,000. Emily's devastated, my mother says. She trusted Madison completely, and Madison just ran. A week later, there's another news story. Police raided a human trafficking operation and found Madison among several young women being held by a criminal network. Her new boyfriend, it turns out, was connected to the trafficking ring. She'd apparently run to him when everything fell apart, and he'd seen an opportunity. Madison survives, but she's arrested along with everyone else involved in the trafficking operation. Both girls end up broke, facing criminal charges, and destroyed in the court of public opinion. Through all of this, my life continues on a different trajectory. I get a promotion at work, something I've been working toward for 2 years. The raise is modest but meaningful. I spend my evenings at the townhouse I never told Emily about, painting walls, choosing furniture, planting herbs in the small backyard. Every room feels like victory. I meet someone, a man named David who teaches high school history and volunteers at a community garden. He's kind and steady, and when I tell him the story about my sister, he listens without judgment. "You made the right choice," he says. "You can't save people who don't want to be saved." Emily's court case is finally resolved 8 months after her arrest. She pleads guilty to fraud and distribution of unsafe cosmetics. She receives a suspended sentence, 2 years of probation, community service, and has to pay restitution to the victims who were harmed. My parents pay for her lawyer and cover some of the restitution. Emily moves back home, broke and humiliated. We don't speak for months. Not out of anger exactly, but because there's nothing to say. She made her choices. I made mine. It's a Sunday afternoon in spring when Emily finally shows up at my townhouse. I'm in the front yard planting tomatoes when I hear her voice. "So, this is where you live now?" I stand up and wipe dirt from my hands. She looks different. Thinner, her hair shorter, no makeup. She's wearing jeans and a plain t-shirt, and there's something diminished about her. "Yeah, I closed on it about a year ago." She looks at the house, then back at me. "When I asked you for money, you said you lost your savings in a stock investment." I lied. "You used it for this instead." "Yes." She's quiet for a long moment. I brace myself for anger, for accusations, but when she speaks, her voice is just tired. "I would have made you feel guilty." I would have said you were selfish for buying a house instead of helping me. I know. And you would have given me the money, wouldn't you? If I'd pushed hard enough, if I'd made you feel bad enough. I considered this honestly. Maybe. Probably. She sits down on my front steps, and after a moment, I sit beside her. We don't touch, but we're close. I fucked everything up, she says quietly. Everything. You did? I thought I was smarter than everyone else. I thought shortcuts were just efficient thinking. I know. Madison sent me a letter from jail. She apologized, said she was desperate and scared, and made everything worse. I don't know if I can forgive her. You don't have to decide that today. We sit in silence for a while. A neighbor walks by with a dog and waves. Birds are singing somewhere in the oak tree that overhangs my small front yard. Your house is really nice, Emily finally says. Thanks. You earned it, the right way. Something loosens in my chest. Yeah, I did. She stands up and I stand with her. For the first time in over a year, she looks me directly in the eyes. I'm sorry for all of it, for the things I said, for not listening, for acting like you were stupid when you were actually the smart one. I accept your apology. I'm working at a coffee shop now, starting community college in the fall. Business administration, ironically. I figure I should actually learn how things work before I try again. That sounds like a good plan. She hugs me then, quick and tight, and when she pulls away, there are tears in her eyes. Thank you, she whispers. For what? For not giving me the money, for letting me fail, for being the person who made good choices when I couldn't. She leaves a few minutes later, walking to her car, a beat-up Honda that my parents helped her buy, nothing like the white Mercedes she'd bragged about. I watch her drive away, then return to my tomato plants, pressing them gently into the rich soil. That evening, David comes over with Thai food and we eat on the back patio. The sun sets golden over the fence and he tells me about his day, about the student who finally understood the Civil War unit, about plans for summer. My phone buzzes with a text from Emily. Thank you for everything, even when I hated you for it, especially then. I smile and put the phone away. Later, lying in bed in my own house, in the room I painted sage green, surrounded by furniture I chose and books I collected and the life I built slowly and carefully, I feel something I haven't felt in years. Peace, not because my sister suffered, I never wanted that, but because I trusted myself when it mattered, because I chose the long path over the shortcut, because I understood that real success isn't built on lies and cheap products and other people's desperation. Real success is this: a house with tomatoes growing in the yard, a job that values me, a relationship built on honesty, and a sister who finally understands that the slow way is the only way that lasts. Outside my window, Denver glitters in the darkness, full of people chasing dreams. Some will find them the right way, others will learn the hard way, like Emily did. But tonight, in my small, perfect house, I am simply grateful. Grateful I waited. Grateful I said no. Grateful I built something real. And that gratitude, I've learned, is worth more than all the shortcuts in the world. Thank you, my loves, for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the newest videos.